that the child can speak, hold their own, be confident, be respectful. Once again, when you see a decent child, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
So 017930002, 017930007, 017930002, 017930007. Yes, of course, from 90 but I'm generally all children. How can decent ethics and morals be children? What is the Nigerian side not doing? We pride ourselves in the notion of being a great disciplinarian. I mean, remember when that comes from house of children, they pair in group people now in 2024. If we are or we are not, the question is, how then can decent ethics and morals be passed down to the young ones? At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. Our WhatsApp number is 08090306416. And then the phone numbers 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007 and 0817-923-0003. You know the rules. Turn down the volume of your radio set, refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments, and please keep your comments civil. Well, I be on WhatsApp here says, good morning. It's very hard and it's very harsh that people seem to only focus a lot more on the girl child. I agree. It has to be honesty. Be honest to our girl child and she'll be better. But what about the boy child? Jude, many of these boys pick up the ideas and the notions that they use on the streets and in the classrooms from either their older brothers or even their parents. Nobody's talking to the boys. Well, that has been said all over and over again. And these days, I like to say, I'm very pleased, particularly in Port Harcourt. I am pleased to know that there are some, religious centers, there are some individuals, there are some groups that, channel the energies towards speaking to males, primarily at men's meetings, boys' meetings. They try to talk to men, try to encourage them, try to, as it were, reprogram those mindsets. So, I agree with you that it seems like in this country we seem to be focused solely on how the female is responding or how a female should respond. But I like to think that some of the males are also being catered to. But what else do we need to do? What else do we need to do to have our society have a generation of children with great ethics and amazing morals? That's the dream, isn't it? Or is it not? I don't know. What else do you know? 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. Please turn on the volume of your radio set and just drop your name with the call screener. I've been seeing so many drop calls. Just drop your name and your location and I get to talk to you. Apologies, as once again, that drop call here. Chika here says, good morning. A lot of the parents don't find that they need to actually teach these children. A lot of the time, just send them to expensive schools in hope that those schools will buy good morals to their children. Chika, in the hope that the schools, not they themselves, the schools. But every parent wants to send their child to the best schools. In fact, advertorials, the school will tell you, bring your child here and we'll guarantee they'll be trained in a God-fearing way. It's a difficult one. I understand that the parents are not opportune. Hello, Potako. Good morning to you, please. Hello, good morning. We have Zion on the line standing by. Zion, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
The girl child has been equipped to run the program in the community. That is why so much is expected, and because that is their nature. It is when we became so lazy, start accusing people, start complaining. You want to take responsibility. You will now have the male conversations again. Esther, who was she before the actor Obama presented herself? Esther,
Okay.
she was well groomed at home by mother. We call it mother earth, mother nature, a country. If you notice, everything is directed to woman. The way a woman says is a mother's responsibility. I've started the process of good in society. I want to ask, when a male and a female get into adultery, who gets hurt? Is the woman. Who goes through the pains? The woman. The woman is always at forefront. That is why we must spend time to equip our daughters.
What about the males, Zion? What about the males?
The male does not need that kind of grooming.
Really? We don't need to teach our males ethics and morals?
A guide. That you need to be.
Okay. All right. What is in Africa? Good morning to you, please. Hello, Wellington. Good morning, Wellington.
No matter who is that, the parents of modern parenting or what don't sit with their children most of the time.
They don't sit.
Yes, you don't sit when we're young. My mom, my father was his mother, she would come and assist her. She will be.
Okay, apologies, Wellington from Okrika. That line's not very clear, so we couldn't get to hear your conversation. You can call back. We have a break coming up shortly. After that, we have the headline news, and we'll get back to you. So please, Wellington, in about 3.5 minutes, you can call back. I would really, honestly, love to hear your view on this. We're talking about age-appropriate information, and I asked, so what exactly do we need to do to pass proper information so we can have healthier members of society, so we can say, oh, our children have morals, high moral standing. And I'll take you to a very interesting country after the break. Stay tuned.
Break Nigeria Info. When I
on, and if you just join us, let me reiterate where this conversation is going to, talking about age-appropriate information, what's and ultimately how these ethics are more passed to children. What means? How can a society say doing very well in making sure that those who come from that society are basically decent, morally sound individuals? How can you tell? Now, a global survey, all right, years ago, a global survey, and I've been seeing, it's people. They're pretty good. They are lovely, they're respectful, boundaries, the patterns of good behavior are very clearly distinct. Let me give you a sense of skill. Lying, for example, was reported by 11% of employees in Japan, 20% of employees in the US admitted to lying, 26 in China, 28 in Italy, 6 in France, 31 in Russia, 31 in others, 37 in Brazil. Vintages would say, wow, Japan is a pretty good country. Well, if you look at how well the economy is run, you probably agree. Wellington is back and speaking to us some more cricket. Wellington, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please come off your radio set or step away from the radio. Go on, please. Yes, go on.
Most of these parents, for you now, they have communication. It's very necessary to how to talk to your children. And how it's again, you talk about that because one time in a manner that when you talk to her, you speak with her, you play with her, then before you begin to drop the advice. So that you have that confidence around you. And the parents too, like when I was very young, my father and my mother have with you. The information when someone of me, can you believe that? Finish them with you, come out. When you are back from the house, my mother was the first person to approach you. If you mean the video movies and begin to drop this message, how the society is like, this is what you need to do, this is this trend, this is the quality of government. They educate you of the society. And simple knowledge. These are not for things school. They are not in school. These will have give you guidelines on how to live in the street. Now, or you do lighting the mind to know what's going on, how then and begin to who to talk to, who to greet, how to collect gift, kind of gift to collect.
Okay.
The gift you can say it's not a bad thing. Take that from the phone.
Great to have you. WhatsApp, phone lines, but let's go WhatsApp and some comments. The reason to be reflecting mainstream as well. For instance, when I was growing up, if a young lady wore trousers, she was automatically deemed loose or ungodly. If she played with boys or did certain sports, remember this. It was she was either sleeping with many boys at the same time, or she was a tomboy who would turn out to be a lesbian. She was also bad. We were told only bad boys fight. But you get why heterosexuality naturally gravitates to guys who can protect us. Yet we all want boy who goes around starting fights, causing issues. So there is no actual definition for a decent person that everyone can agree with because of our values, including the values of those who own the media houses and blogs are different. That's from Anonymous. Interesting. Clement is on NTA Road. Clement, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good.
So let me start with, we might have come across this president from the account perspective in Zimbabwe. So, who had an interview with one of the mainstream media who not define concerning homophobia.
Okay.
I think for that,
I think you're referring to the late Mugabe.
Not the late Mugabe.
Okay, yes, this is more recent. Yes, I know whom you're speaking about.
So it talks about how we are in Africa.
Mm.
Now, let me ask a question. See, even after the colonial masters have left, we are still colonial. And of course, they are bringing to continue innovation of where we are today. And to continue, except we choose to accept it in our own African way. I will not explain on this, but whoever should understand that the way it was designed is a result of how the people have studied first. But we have our own tailor for the how. The discussion is between explain, but I need you understand what I mean. And if you are passing a message through the mainstream media, actually what the United Nations must have said, filtered down to the radio television, to the school, of course, the basic education, and that is where, even from the nursery one, they have a pattern through which they educate them through the curriculum, down to secondary, down to tertiary. And then adding to what the boy child, so that's what more. We cannot remove technology now. Both the boy child and the information. I think if you can get they might not do much. However, we can do.
Okay, right. In regards to using technology, you do more by leverage, but even the tech is becoming very touchy. In fact, the reason why I talk about this is for parents, I've told us for preteens, and say, look, these are the options. These cartoons, and I remember growing up, cartoons where apart from the fun, the education. Some people, I use myself. I learned a lot of value lessons from the character. Who did not want to be Prince Charming and fall in love with the beautiful princess after watching White or Little Mermaid, or we all wanted to become strong men that would be able to protect those around us. We were watching great shows. I don't know if my father watched those before we did, but a lot of the times when he would come home, it was our time. We would watch Bugs Bunny together. We would watch Daffy Duck together. We would laugh at Tom and Jerry. My dad spent the time with us. I don't know. And so this father was saying, look, these cartoons, don't let your children watch them anymore. Let them watch these ones. This is a better. And it got me thinking, is this how people are going to be able to transmit great morals to their children, to the society? The Global Peace Index, GPI, ranks safest and most peaceful. Very safe, peaceful countries on the planet. Iceland, safest country in the world for years and years now, followed by the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. Now, what they have in common? They have high levels of wealth, social welfare, education, effective criminal justice system, and last but not least, positive government-citizen relationships. So what are we teaching our children right now? What are we teaching our children? How? Clement is back on material. Clement, good morning to you.
Yeah, please. Sorry. Talk about cartoon. I don't even remember this Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, just mention Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it's a machine or a robot that was brought in by the Madame Church.
Oh, I remember that episode. Yes, I remember that episode.
Good. That episode was released in 1957.
Wow.
1957, Mr. Ju. You can just Google Tom and Jerry, something like that, then you can have the history behind that cartoon. It was 1957. Let me break it down to us. I don't know if you remember when the bank bought the ATM machine.
Oh, that's early 2000s, yeah.
Good. So what that starting to tells me was before the education, that today. So if you are watching cartoon with your kids, I believe you should be able to define your mind and say what the message is. So what can you ask my kids? They grow up. I was releasing before had our independence over 50 years ago. And today, the message in that cartoon is relevant to us. Tell you that you've not not live on anything that happens to the community that are passing through. Today, at the town, out of the house, with Madam Blossy pass. People are losing their jobs to get the result of that. And of course, it's affecting the young child. So that's because it affects the general technology.
Michael said it's generally intentional to break anything their kids or wards cannot identify as a barrier to freedom. Michael told it was led in school that a few morally bankrupt girls transiting from UBE after the JCA junior WAEC in secondary schools deceived their fellow girls into believing that they were still virgin. The principal of the school session would deny them admission. Wait, do you get someone I just read? Let me read one thing. Once told me it was an urban legend in school. A few morally bankrupt girls transiting from SS3 after the junior WAEC into the senior secondary school once deceived their fellow girls into believing that if they were still virgins, the principal of the senior secondary school section will deny them admission. Where were they getting these stories from? It was when these girls were searching for volunteer males to do the deed that a good, decent, and morally upright young man who was approached by these disparate girls came to the school to report the offer. You would imagine that these girls never approached parents, their older siblings, their aunties or females, neighbors, or teachers in their school to inform of new quote unwritten admission requirements they heard of, and even pressured the young man not to report to the parents. What they told them, they moved to school to report fake news being spread. Africa. That's shocking. That is shocking. But it's very possible because I'm trying to place myself as a 13 or 14-year-old in secondary school. And there were so many stories that people would tell us, all bits that we believed. You know, a few of them, so I'm sure some of you heard of Lady Koi Koi and what was that one? Incubus and succubus, pattern when you don't give your egg to sinners. You know, there were so many weird stories. But, you know, our minds back then believed them. And a lot of stories, we did not correspond to our parents. We didn't. Huh? You Saloba. What is really? Good morning, Jude. In terms of this, the National Orientation Agency, anyway, should be proactive by watching and observing the society, debugging and refuting certain orientation and practices that is termed indecent to the society. Mrs. Zion with that comment. At Nigeria Info PH, we have just about 4 minutes left. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH. Please join the conversation. Age appropriate information. Appropriate information. It's not about sex. It's about what is right and wrong and telling the child, explain to the child how this should be implemented. So that child. Okay. Maybe we'll talk about these myths and legends at a later date. Don't I just love you guys? The information I get to be handed over on this show is astounding. All right, this one is Jude. A lot of people keep talking about the parents, particularly the mother. Society has evolved. Who do parents literally leave their children to? It's not the devices. Everywhere you go to these days, a mother has a phone or it is in front of the baby. The baby is already consuming content. The parents feel it's appropriate. Why would adverts come up when the baby is watching? Why would suggestive materials come up when this baby is watching? By the time the child is 3, 4, the child already has ideas of what society should be, even though the child has not been in society. We should start checkmating some of the excesses that we usually let go of because it's in front of a screen. How do you then pass good morals when the child is always in front of the screen? And let's be honest, it is kind of like an easy way to keep babies occupied when you put cartoons, put screens in front of them. But this last minute, are you exactly sure? On the internet, you're tired, baby, watch, you're working, ads pop up. 92.3 Oh dear, another drop call scenario. I must apologize. A big challenge with this provider, right? Botswana, and they're regarded as the most eco countries on the African continent. The most ethical countries on the African continent. And the reason was they believed, though the participants of this survey believed, but it was seen that more people paid attention to what could happen if they made the wrong decision. Perceived Botswana and Rwanda as countries, so people have, in quotes, more ethically or more morally grounded individuals. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, another round of conversations come through. News comes up away in 5 minutes after the side of conversation. Stay and do be good.